So I got this email from potential client named Tom, and he wanted to talk about a merger, a potential merger that they were looking at. And he wanted to figure out if the other person they were merging with, the other company they were merging with, was really going to be able to make it work. So some of the questions that he had was, we have a lot of differences in our two styles. There's going to be two CEOs, and these two CEOs are going to merge their businesses together. And when they do that, my question was, so do you both have boards? Yes. Who has more board seats was my next question. And what he said was, well, hey, so he has 4 board seats and we have 3. Well, if you're a merger, you told me your businesses are exactly the same, so they're really not. Well, no, their financial position's a little bit better. So I asked some more questions about that merger, and what I learned was the CEO that they were merging their company with was not all that excited about making sure people did things the right way. And the right way meant everything was compliant from an HR perspective. The HR people really knew what they were doing. The way that they rolled everything out worked well. And that wasn't really what his goal was. His goal was to make sure that he had this team around him that was an excited team to be there, whether they were really the right fit or not. The HR person, the senior vice president of HR, got involved in the conversation. She was very concerned because of the way they did things. So my question to them was, why do you want to merge with a company that is so different than yours? And they have 1 more board seat. Who's going to be CEO? Because you're both CEOs. And it was really interesting because they were going to both be CEOs of their own groups. So not that much was going to change, but they were looking at, we could have a stronger financial position, stronger buying power, lots of good reasons to merge. So the more we talked about it, the more I wondered how quickly he was going to come to the realization that that was probably the worst thing they could ever do, because it's like getting married to somebody you don't like. So as a result, I told him that what I would do was put the 2 of them together, the 2 CEOs together in a room, and we would start talking about the things that were, what can we both do? What are the things that we can both agree on? What are the things that we disagree on, and is the disagreement enough to walk away from the merger or not? We also do a Forte assessment that shows how communication actually happens with people, and if I'm laying something down, are they picking it up or not? And so we were going to do the Forte assessment as well. So I had this conversation with him for an hour, hour and a half. CEO, COO, Senior VP of HR. They were very, very concerned and decided, I'm not really sure if this is going to work or not. So a week later, I called him back to see where they were. Sure enough, they walked away from the merger, but he was incredibly excited because he had somebody else he thought he wanted to work with. So we're still working through all of this, but it was just a great story, and I was so glad that he was so transparent about, is this really the right thing to do?